The Milwaukee Bucks took home the Larry O'Brien NBA Championship trophy after defeating the Phoenix Suns in the finals. Now, in the offseason, the 2021 NBA Draft is officially underway. We're going to walk you through the draft lineup and some of the top trades and picks to watch out for. We'll talk about the NBA Global Academy and how a young, rising basketball star from down under will become the first graduate from the academy to be picked in an NBA draft. We'll also look at a trio from Texas who, together, are some of the top college prospects who could be selected in the 2021 NBA Draft. So today, we're looking at NBA trade rumors, what happens now after the playoffs, and who can we see being traded. You don't want to miss this list. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. First up, we'll discuss how the NBA's Global Academy. 5 years ago, the NBA Global Academy was launched in Canberra, Australia. The academy was designed specifically to help the best and the brightest high school basketball players hone their skills to essentially give them a shot at playing in the NBA. To achieve this goal, the academy uses NBA-sponsored coaches. But this isn't just some sports school. No, the NBA Global Academy is actually an elite private school as well, which provides students with a high-quality education offering a variety of degree programs. But this year in the 2021 NBA Draft, Josh Giddey will be selected into the NBA Draft, and he credits the academy with his success. Josh had this to say about his time at the NBA's Global Academy. "They developed me and pushed me in the right direction and set me up to where I am today, essentially. So the NBA Academy was big for me. It allowed for me to go overseas and get the exposure that I wouldn't have gotten if I stayed back home in Melbourne. It's a big honor and makes me pretty happy to be the first NBA Academy player to be drafted." It's believed that scouts from the Golden State Warriors are taking an active interest in Josh. Next up, holy armadillo! What is happening in Texas? The Texas Longhorns, the flagship NCAA basketball team for the University of Texas, has the most prospects of any NBA draft in NCAA history in consideration for the upcoming 2021 NBA Draft. The NBA is looking at three possibilities: Kai Jones, Jericho Sims, and forward Greg Brown. Throughout the 2020 NCAA season, these three players dominated the sport and led the Longhorns to their first Big 12 men's basketball title in the university's history. When the NBA Draft begins, these three players are almost guaranteed to get selected. Observers are calling Greg Brown the best athlete of the 2021 draft prospects list. Greg Brown was born and raised in Austin, Texas, and has made a name for himself playing for the Longhorns. The fast-moving 6'9" tall forward has great ball handling, drive, footwork skills, decision-making, and leadership capabilities. With the help of some development from NBA coaching staff, there's no question that Greg Brown could certainly become an asset to any team lucky enough to sign him. Up next, we'll take a look at some recent offers. The Philadelphia 76ers management team recently offered Ben Simmons to the Toronto Raptors in exchange for OG Anunoby, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, in addition to the number 4 draft pick, but the Raptors management team were quick to reject Philly's offer. Ben Simmons is a 3-time NBA All-Star player who helped the 76ers advance to the playoffs 3 times. However, with that being said, Simmons had some serious troubleshooting from the free throw line and averages a 33% success rate. Philly fans have been relentless in voicing their displeasure with Simmons, and insiders confirm that a Simmons trade is inevitable. But what that will look like is still anyone's guess. There are reports, though, that the Sacramento Kings, Indiana Pacers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Minnesota Timberwolves are all expressing interest in Simmons. Because if Simmons can improve his mindset and overcome his problems at the free throw line, he can still be a high-value player. Next up, more trades that are in the works. Rumor has it that the New Orleans Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies have agreed to a trade with Jonas Valanciunas, Steven Adams, and Eric Bledsoe. Exact details of the trades remain elusive, however, and have yet to be confirmed. Apparently, the Toronto Raptors, Oklahoma City Thunder, Golden State Warriors, and the New York Knicks have contacted the Cleveland Cavaliers to inquire about the cost for the 3rd overall pick. Cavaliers are definitely seeking to acquire a top 10 pick during the 2021 NBA Draft. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder, may be traded for the 6th pick of Detroit's number 1 pick. Up next, we'll discuss more trade rumors. In the upcoming draft, the New York Knicks are rumored to be going after shooting guard Chris Duarte, the recipient of the Jerry West Award and a player that many observers consider to be the top shooting guard in the entire country. Duarte, a native of the Dominican Republic, decided to do 3 things when he turned 14. The first was to learn how to speak English. The second was to learn how to play basketball. And the third, move to the United States. The Lakers and the Kings are also in trade talks. If Montrezl Harrell decides to exercise his $9.7 million option position and be traded, a deal could be made for Buddy Hield and Kyle Kuzma. This is a potentially important trade because, as we know, Richaun Holmes becomes an unrestricted free agent this summer. A number of teams have their eyes on Holmes in addition to the Kings, who have early bird rights in the draft. Such teams as the Toronto Raptors, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Charlotte Hornets are all said to be taking an interest in Holmes. The Raptors have reportedly made a qualifying offer for Trent Jr., which would make him a restricted free agent. Trent Jr. could cost as high as $18 to $20 million per year. Another player to keep a close eye on is 25-year-old point guard for the Grizzlies, Tyus Jones. Jones, who is well known in the league as a very valuable backup point guard, will cost the Grizzlies $8.38 million for the 2022 season, so we could see a trade with Jones. Next up, more 2021 NBA draft trades that could be in the works. Earlier in July, it was reported that Bradley Beal, starting point guard for the Washington Wizards, could be traded. Beal has been with the Wizards for a total of 9 seasons, and word on the court is that Beal is looking for a fresh start. So you might want to keep an eye on this one. Another big trade that is reportedly in the works is the Russell Westbrook trade to the LA Lakers. Apparently, the Lakers, who have won 17 NBA championship titles, are eager to acquire Westbrook from the Washington Wizards, and negotiations are going nicely. Some even suspect that in the near future, LeBron and Anthony Davis might be traded as well, due to their lackluster performance during the 2020-2021 season with the Lakers, which saw both players struggling with injuries. Some suspect the injuries may have even cost the Lakers the championship. Another trade that many are wondering about is the Damian Lillard trade to the New York Knicks. Lillard is reportedly unhappy playing for the Portland Trailblazers, who for the past 5 years in a row have been unable to even make the playoffs. For these reasons, Lillard is looking at the possibility of joining either the Philadelphia 76ers or New York Knicks franchises. Another trade that folks are wondering about is Jackson Hayes, who plays center for the New Orleans Pelicans. Hayes, who's 21, was the number 8 overall draft pick in the 2019 NBA draft. But unfortunately for Hayes, he was arrested after a violent confrontation with police that resulted in both Hayes and the officer in question to go to a hospital for treatment. Finally, we'll go over some last-minute bonus trades to keep an eye out for. The Detroit Pistons are in the process of signing a deal for Cade Cunningham as the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Cunningham, an Oklahoma State guard, is reportedly top on Detroit's list, and many consider the trade to be a lock for sure. According to reports, there's a trade in progress involving New Orleans Pelicans player Lonzo Ball for Pacers Malcolm Brogdon. Many people are keeping an eye on this one, and some sports insiders are calling it one of the most talked about trades of the 2021 draft. The LA Lakers are said to be after Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry, but whether this trade will actually take place is anyone's guess. One question that is on many people's minds is whether or not Kawhi Leonard will stay with the Los Angeles Clippers. As a free agent, Leonard is now free to move, and many are wondering if he'll stay with the Clippers or move on. According to Chris Bosh, a friend of Leonard's, Bosh thinks that Leonard should stay with the Clippers. Bosh feels that the Clippers have a strong team, and if all goes well, they could be headed for an NBA championship ring. Thank you for listening and watching. Please click like and subscribe to our channel. More exciting and informative videos are on the way.